mPower webinar. Our speakers today are Martin Craig, the CEO of PATA, Alex Rayner, mPower expert and also executive chairman of eTourism World, and also last but not least, Yan, co-founder and president of Dragon Trail and also our strategic advisor to CEO. So what a great occasion today, and this session will focus on the introduction of mPower system, layout and navigation. At the end of the session, you will also have a chance to type in and ask questions to our speaker. So let's begin with the introduction to system layout and navigation by Alex.
Alex is sitting next to me here in Chiang Mai. Martin Craig speaking. Whoever's tuned in, welcome. This is a historic broadcast. And apologies, we're a little behind schedule with a few technical headaches. I hope it's loud and clear. I just want to take a couple of minutes to underline the importance of mPower as part of the overall PATA Next Generation strategy. And this webinar will go on the record for, we believe, many thousands of people to dip into to understand the concept of an architecture of mPower. But I first wanted, for those of you who didn't come to our AGM in KL 10 days ago, to stress how fundamental mPower is to PATA's future and to the value proposition we're offering members. Basically, PATA Next Gen, which has been fully rolled out, involves 3 pillars: 1, advocacy; 2, events; and now 3, mPower, which to my mind is a platform for delivering our research capabilities in a very convenient way online in a modern idiom through HTML5 language, usable on iPads and other mobile devices. So I'm stating the obvious for some of you who already know, but we may well have completely new participants who are just tuning in for the first time, and I therefore want to make it clear that yes, we're also busy. The phone is going in the background. Picture the scene. We're actually in Chiang Mai at the very elegant Starwood Hotel, one of our members, where this morning we've been participating in the United Nations World Tourist Organization's conference on green tourism. So multitasking day for us, but pleased for those of you who have taken the time to tune in, including, I believe, our own Beijing office. Always welcome. Hello, Kate and co. And I think you should be aware that we've had the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand here today, and Talib Rafai, the Secretary General of UNWTO, who all made PATA very welcome and gave me the privilege of making remarks in the opening ceremony. We've also, by the way, got our new board member, Professor Chung from Hong Kong Poly U here, who just gave a great presentation on the hotel icon and how that may be the site for our upcoming executive board meeting. So there you go, a little topical news from me. I am not going to try and do Alex or Jens's job for them. They are very much the ones who can explain mPower in greater detail. I'm looking forward to hearing it myself. I will be around for the closing questions and hope this webinar works and gives value to all those tuned in. So thanks for your time. Very rare occasion I've spoken for less than 5 minutes. Let the record show. Thank you very much. Go ahead, guys. Jens.
Okay, yeah, Jens. Thank you, Martin. This is Jens Trainhardt. Before Alex continues with the walkthrough of functionality of mPower and how people can really leverage the tool in building and growing their business, I just wanted to kind of maybe step back from a strategic standpoint to explain how actually mPower can really grow as a platform to enable PATA members to really become more efficient when it comes to data and insights, especially when it comes to inbound and outbound. PATAmPOWER, as Alex will explain more, is really built around aggregating various data sources and making them easy to access for users. So when it comes to that, on one hand, it is important to kind of understand that the technology acts as an enabler, and the data is being made available, and then for users to get the insights out in terms of really leveraging it, which right now in the tourism industry is very unique. This has not been done before in this kind of way or form. There's obviously a lot of way to grow and also a lot of enhancements that have to be made. So Alex will walk through that. The other thing that I want to mention is that we're also looking to, or in the process of developing what we call the PATA Technology Council. It will have a different name, and we're looking to appoint very senior individuals that are engaged in e-commerce technology in the travel industry in Asia. That could be in hotel companies, airlines, tourist boards, online travel agencies, and also technology companies, and cruise lines as well. So this is in the process right now. You'll hear more about that, and this group will really help to position PATA in going into the next-gen environment and leveraging the internet, as Martin always says, not as an enemy, but as an ally. So you'll hear more about that. If anyone is listening who is interested in getting involved, feel free to contact either myself or Ken Scott or Martin Craigs directly. We're happy to kind of engage with you from there. With that said, I will pass it on to Alex. Maybe just to finish off very quickly, the role of this council as it relates to mPower is really more like as a sounding board more than anything else. mPower is a data tool that leverages technology as an enabler, and I think that needs to be understood. But I think the expertise that we can bring to the table, I think, can be leveraged for PATA to really make sure that mPower as a tool is evolving and always, becoming not static, but getting to the next level.
Good, Jens. I am going to take up another minute as you change seats with Alex. I think it's worth you also all knowing that this morning after the formal sessions at the conference, I had a 35-minute one-to-one meeting with Talib Rafai, who I think, as you all know, is Secretary General of UNWTO based in Madrid, a charming and very helpful gentleman who specifically asked that we set up formal cooperative task force links between PATA and UNWTO linked to research to make sure we have a common party line and that we don't unnecessarily duplicate activities, that we don't waste any resources. I showed him our short one-minute video, which he enjoyed seeing. I also talked to him about how we could add an event audit element to mPower going forward. And Melissa will be the liaison point on that. Melissa, if you're tuned in from the Philippines, that would be good to know as well. I saw your emails this morning. Anyway, I'm passing on to Alex, and look forward to your questions at the end of Alex's briefing.
Great. Thank you very much, Martin, and thank you, Jens, for your comments. And I would now like to present an overview, an introductory overview to users of PATAmPOWER. So I'm looking at the page live, and one thing I'd like to highlight is every time you refresh the screen, you will actually see that the tiles will change, and they'll be in different locations because this is a dynamic tool which is updated in real time by the PATA administrator. And consequently, whenever some new data is released by the numerous sources of data that PATAmPOWER has, every time there's a data release, the moment the administrator updates PATAmPOWER, it's live, real time, and you, the user, have that information available instantly. So consequently, you will see the data in the tiles change constantly, and it's basically going to be updated whenever we at PATA receive updates. So in terms of the navigation, I want to highlight by moving the cursor here, first of all, there is a PATA global menu area. So by clicking on that, you basically can go to any section of the pata.org website if you want to. So at any point during your using PATAmPOWER, you can actually go to any of the sections of the PATA website. The second area I want to highlight is the resources. So under resources, at the moment we have the definitions section, we have the FAQ, which is an acronym for frequently asked questions. And there will be a user guide which is currently being written. So if you click on definitions, basically that gives you a rundown of all the definitions that relate to the contents of the data in PATAmPOWER. If you click on the FAQs, you'll see a series of questions and you will see the answers. So these are questions that we find are very frequently asked, and it's a section that will be updated constantly. It's a work in progress. If there is a common question that will be asked, we will put it up into this section to make it easier for the users to utilize and to use PATAmPOWER. So the next area I want to highlight is the registration area. PATAmPOWER is available to anybody. However, the depth of the information is limited. So if you are a user that is not a PATA member, you will be able to see quite a lot of information. However, it will be limited. It will be sub-regional. And let me just also highlight, within the membership of PATA, the data is also broken down into 3 areas. And we have what we call the strategic access level, we have the international access level, and then we have the local level. And to explain the difference in terms of what you get access to, well, anyone who's a strategic member, and there's a list here of all the membership categories that comprise the strategic level. Anyone who is a category member in this list here has access to all the content of PATAmPOWER. Everything is available to them. If you are in the international category, which basically is the list of the categories here, then you will have access to all the destinations. Basically, you'll have all the information except for the forecast arrivals by origin chart. And then if you are a chapter, corporate affiliate, education, or a retail travel agent, then you're in the local category, and you will see the same charts that the international level will see. However, you will only see it for your destination, your local destination. So if you have registered as a user in Thailand, you will be able to see the data for Thailand only. You will not see the other countries of the world. However, for international members, then obviously you would see all the destinations. So moving along here, so the registration is something you need to do to have access to the the richness of the data. Now, there are two important components I would like to highlight. You do need to fill in an organization ID, which is basically your PATA membership number. And you also need to enter your email address, which is the one you have used when you became a member of PATA. That is how we verify that you are a current PATA member, and that's how the access is granted. It's also important that you have to accept the terms and conditions of use, and once you do all that, you can you can register, and your login becomes active. So I will now show you how I log in and then show you a little bit more data. Just before I do that, I want to just highlight one other area. Down the bottom here, you'll see a little toolbar, and basically, if it's something you don't want to see, you can minimize it, and it'll disappear. And then if you want it to come back, you just click on this toolbar icon, and it'll return. And basically, what it does allow you to do is to see any latest notifications. So there could be details about an update. You can chat with other users of PATAmPOWER. So today, for example, there wouldn't be many people there yet, but as PATAmPOWER becomes a widely used tool by the travel tourism professionals around the world, the chat will become an active area where people can discuss the data and the use of mPower. And of course, you can tweet about PATAmPOWER. You can click on like on the Facebook. You can connect through Google Plus and other social media. So you can actually engage with other people, your colleagues, your friends, through social media, relatively easy using this toolbar. So the login process is quite easy. All you have to do is type in the email address that you have registered with. So I'm going to use mine. And the password is the password that you have selected. Now, if you ever forget the password, all you have to do is click on Forgot Password, and your password will be reset, and you will receive an email with a new password. So I'm going to log in now, and basically I'm looking at the home page currently. Just to highlight, you may have noticed the screen at the top here has changed. I now have my name appear, and if I click on that item, I can see my details. And at this point, I have the opportunity to change my password if I want to. So at any point, you may want to change your password. You can do that. If I want to exit, all I have to do is click on Log Out, and it'll log me out. So in terms of the layout, you'll see these various tiles. The tiles will change in shape, in content, and sometimes the tiles will contain relevant data to what is happening in the world at any given time. So the opportunity you have, if you have something that you are interested in, you can actually click on one of these graphs. So for example, international visitor arrivals might be something you're interested in. You can click on View More, and it'll actually take you directly into that chart. So the other way, of course, is we have the navigation on the left-hand side, and the data is grouped into 5 categories. So 5 categories, and amongst the 5 categories we have 20 different charts. Each of the 5 categories has various charts relevant to data about that section. So under travelers, you'll see a whole range. And the future webinars this month will actually go into the details of each one of these charts and the indicators contained in it. Today, I'm just going to touch on the navigation, just to give you familiarity with what options you have as a user to select the data and to manipulate the data to your needs. So for example, to begin with, we're looking at international visitor arrivals as indicated by the title, and you can have either a map view and a chart view. So these are the two options that you have. The map view is still limited in terms of the content. It's still early days for the software we've used for PATAmPOWER, which is HTML5, and the map abilities are still very limited. However, that will change over time, so you will see the mapping area improve as technological developments are occurring. So looking at the chart view, currently we're looking at international visitor arrivals, and you can look at this data on a yearly, quarterly, or a monthly basis. So at the moment it's yearly. I may now click on quarter to see how does it look like seasonality-wise. And now I can see the data on this basis. I can also see it on a monthly basis. Now that becomes very clogged up. So what I'm do over here is the ability to change the years that you're viewing. I'll modify this to show 2011 only. So now we're looking at international visitor arrivals for the year 2011 on a monthly view, from January through to December. Now the indicators that we're looking at is the number of arrivals and also the year-on-year change percentage. If you do not wish to look at both sets of indicators, you can simply remove one. So by unticking the tick in number of arrivals and applying it, it takes away the bars, and now all you see is the actual percentage change. If you want to do the other way, it's very simple. Put a tick in number of arrivals, untick the other one, and click on apply, and now you're looking purely at the actual number of arrivals into the destinations that are selected. Now, let me show you another little unique feature we have. You're looking at the data here, and you might not be interested in North America. What you can do is click on North America, and it removes North America from what you're seeing. If you want to bring it back, you can. It's one click away. So for example, if you want to only compare two areas, we'll get rid of North America, we'll get Northeast Asia, we'll just compare Southeast Asia and the Pacific. So you can kind of look at the chart and see, okay, how does that look when you're doing your analysis and chop and change. And you can bring them back. So that's the indicators. Now, the destinations, you can select by clicking on Select Destination, and up comes the options of what destinations are available. So you can untick the individual destinations, or you can just click on Clear All. And by clicking on Clear All, it just removes everything. If I apply, the chart will not show anything. So what I will do now is I will want to look at Thailand. Now I have two options on how to display the data for Thailand. I can, if I know it's in Southeast Asia, I can click on the plus sign and then scroll down to Thailand and put a tick in Thailand and click on Apply. Now the data for Thailand appears. In the indicators section, I'm going to click on year-on-year change percentage and click on Apply, and that'll bring up the two indicators for Thailand. So now we're looking at the arrivals into Thailand for the year 2011, from January through to December, and you can see the percent change over the last 12-month period. Notice that when you put your cursor on the bar, it actually tells you the details of what you're looking at. So I'm now putting the cursor on January of 2011 for Thailand, and it's telling me it was 1.8 million arrivals in January. Similarly, if I put the cursor on the percentage change, it shows me in January 2011, Thailand international visitor arrivals grew at 12.48% over January of 2010, the year prior. So that's how you can select the destination. Now, you may not know where is Thailand. So if you were looking at the destinations available and you want Thailand, you can also type the word Thailand under search. So here, by typing in THA, basically all countries that start with THA will appear, and Thailand has appeared, and I put a tick in Thailand and click on apply, and again I have my data for Thailand. Now, you might want to have a look at how's Thailand comparing with another destination, and you may want to compare Thailand with, say, Malaysia. So let me type Malaysia, and click on Malaysia and click on apply. Now we have the data for both Thailand and Malaysia. So select destination allows you to choose the destinations you're interested in. Your indicators, you can tick and untick the indicators that are relevant to what you want to see. Up here you can select the years that you want to view. So you may want to look from 2009 all the way through to 2011. Of course, here you have your options with the month, quarter, or the year. And then you can have the chart and map view. So the last area I would like to touch on is the functionality, which is this section here. This allows you to export, email, or to print the chart that you are viewing. So the first one, which enables you to export whatever you're seeing, gives you a number of options. You can export to what's called a CSV file. Basically, that means you can put the data into an Excel spreadsheet and then combine the data with other spreadsheets and other data you may have to do your own analysis. You can also export the image, which can be in various formats, .png, .jpeg, and .tiff, and also SVG. And basically, that means you can take whatever you see in front of you and put it into a report or into a presentation, PowerPoint presentation that you're preparing. Now, let me just click on Export to Image in JPEG just to show you what happens. And this is the screen that comes up. Now, do note that the source mPower comes up at the bottom, the date and time. There's a date and time stamp at the bottom. And of course, there is a watermark of PATAmPOWER in the background, which is fairly soft, but it does show where you've got the data from. So that's the export function. Email, relatively straightforward. All you have to do is type in the email address of who you want to send the chart to, and you can add a message. You can put in here, hi, what do you think of this trend? And then type in an email address and then click on send, and away it goes. You can add the data as a CSV as well as an image. So you've got a number of options here. And then, of course, printing, whatever is on your screen can be printed immediately to a printer. So this navigation is consistent throughout all of the charts. So that's the reason I wanted to cover it today. Next week and the Thursdays for the rest of the month, in fact, there'll be an opportunity to learn more about the actual indicators in each chart, what do they mean, and how you can use them for better analysis and decision making. So I hope I've covered the overview of how to use PATAmPOWER in a simple way which was clear. However, I am now available for questions. We've got, I believe, 15-20 minutes available. So I'm happy to receive any questions on the how to use the mPower.
All right. Is there anyone have a question? You can type in the question now, and Alex will answer to you. And Alex, I do have a question myself that about mPower. I just wonder that how many user ID that they can have per one organization member. Is that they can create any user ID as many as they want? Is that correct as my understanding?
At the moment, we don't have limits set on number of users. That's something that may change in future, but at the moment, there is no limit.
Oh, all right. So I hope that clarify most of us as well. And I do have that a lot of questions from our member asking that. So, is anyone else have a question? Yes. Is anyone else have a question? You can just type in now. You can see the screen on your right hand side. You can just type in the question, anything about mPower.
Just let me add one more comment about the number of users. Yes. What is important is that if you have more than one user from a PATA member, they do have to register with a unique email address. So each user is actually unique. Every time a user registers, they accept the terms and conditions. And the terms and conditions, one of the terms and conditions is that you do not share your password and your user ID with other people. So basically, we want each person to be using mPower in their own, with their own user ID. But if you are a PATA member, you can have more than one. You can have multiple email accounts set up of all your staff or students at university. We just have to have a list of all the emails provided to PATA of who you've authorized in your company to have access.
All right. Okay, so that's clear, and I guess we don't have any more questions today, so maybe it's time for me to end the session for introduction to mPowers. And thank you everyone for joining us today. It's a great pleasure to have Martin, Alec, and Jens together. And if you have any more questions, you can send us email at mpower@pata.org. And stay tuned for the next session of mPower webinar 10 May, followed by 17 May. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day and see you next time.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.